Hey curly hair gang, my name is Laura Spinney, and after loads of requests about curly hair, wavy hair, kinky hair, coily hair, I've decided to make a little video. It's just a really good reference so I can push everybody over to my Instagram rather than doing lots of back and forth consulting via text. So I thought this would be a good reference for you guys, but also for myself, and I can talk through everything that I have learnt in my 14 years hair experience, but also having curly hair myself. So firstly, what I want to do is shed some light on curly hair, wavy hair, kinky hair. There actually is a measuring system. I think it's so hard trying to figure out everything, like your cycles, your hair, just everything. So I kind of want to chew the fat a little bit on how to figure out your curl, how best to then work with it. I think when you have the knowledge, then yeah. So anyway, so basically there's a measuring system, and I was quite intrigued by this when I found out. So basically it's 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. 1s, we're probably not going to touch on too much on 1s today because it's really just straight hair with a slight which I don't think is that hard to understand. So 2s is basically wavy. You have 2A, 2B, 2C. Now 2A is fine wavy, 2B is a little bit more to the medium textured wavy, 2C is obviously coarser, wavier hair. So it's slight bend, little tiny S kicker, and that's basically your 2s. So it's best to understand, like with your 2s, you probably just want like more curling, enhancing or encouraging. You might need a little bit more of an encouraging haircut for that. But moving on, because I don't want to drag this on too much because there's a lot of information to give. But 3s then are like your typical curly hair. So these are actually like a pasta curl type thing. So you've got 3A, 3B, 3C. 3A is obviously finer hair, B medium, C up to coarse, but these are like your proper coils. Curls. So it looks like little spiral pasta moving up to like, bigger spiral pasta up to like, I don't know, about a rigatoni, I suppose. Then you've got your, where was that up to? 4A, 4B, 4C, and this is more of your afro type, frizzier texture. 4A is like, I'm not obviously going to pretend to know how that is because I am white, but I have worked with afro hair before, and I think the funnest part about understanding afro hair is asking afro-haired women. They generally are taught from their parents, generally their mum, or grandmothers, aunties, friends, cousins, etc. And it's really interesting because each of them have such a different way of maintaining their curl or coil or kink or whatever it is. So it's not just, do you have curly hair, do you have wavy hair? So, generally the 4s are your more intense, a lot more dense, coarse textured hair. And so understanding that, I guess, if you had that hair, then you would understand it from a very young age. But one gross misconception which I hear constantly, which I think is just a lack of knowledge of your own textured hair, is I have frizzy hair. You probably don't, Susan. It's probably just fluffy because you wash it daily, or it's just a little bit, you're getting a few grays, or you just don't have any product in there so it goes fluffy. I think the best way to combat this is find a product that works for you, and that's what this is all about. Is I'm going to go through a few products that I love, but I'm going to go through a little bit more in depth of which products I would suggest for different measurements or different what's the word I'm thinking of, the scales, I guess, the measuring tables. So that will probably be typed out on my website if you want a little bit more of an understanding of that. But yeah, I hear it all the time. I've got frizzy hair. It's like, you're albino. Like it's probably not frizz ever. So yes, finding a product that works for you, knowing how to shampoo your hair properly, knowing how to, what products to use. So there are so many different, it's not just your 2-in-1 shampoos anymore. Like You can get pre-shampoos, pre-treatment shampoos, shampoos that don't lather, that are cream cleansers, your normal lather shampoos. Then you've got like a whole range of different things for that. Then you've got conditioners, treatments, leave-in treatments, spray conditioners, etc., etc. So it's a lot. So my understanding is that I want to debunk all of, I guess, things for myself that has taken me years, but just like share that information. So that is the measurement system. Now I'm just going to go through, my hair is wet. I've just gotten back from the beach. I did a quick shampoo and condition, and I want to take you through how I generally will prep my curls for wearing natural hair. But if you can't tell, I am a huge advocate for curly hair, or just wearing like whatever sort of natural hair you have, wearing that and just making it really unique to you. So I think there are no two people that are the same. You generally find in one head of curls or kinks or whatever that you'll have multiple different textures. It's not just like, oh, I'm a 2B through and through. It's like I could be, you know, a 3C under here and like 2B all over. So a lot of people have like a real curly patch here or whatever. So best to understand that. But yeah, I have been growing my hair so I could wear it curly, because my hair, unlike other people, or more commonly, gets curlier as it gets longer. When it's shorter, I lose the curl, which is a shame. So I am sort of in between like I would say like a 2C, 2B, 2C, and then in certain areas I can get up to like a 3A, 3B, something like that. Yeah, so it gets really curly underneath. Where I've kind of fucked it a bit with color and things, it's a bit straighter. So yeah, we're going to talk about some products. So I'm going to go through some products that I would suggest. This is not just for my hair, but they're products that I reach for my clients as well. These are a range of different brands. I'm not necessarily brand specific. I like to mix things up because I think that there are so many brands that have like hero products, and then there's like just fillers or things that they need to have. So, but you know, generally I wouldn't say I think you should use this if I've not used it before, or if I've not used it on my clients. So first up, I'm going to talk about Kevin Murphy. So we have Killer Curls and Killer Waves. So Killer Waves is more of your you know, for wavier hair, but a spray is generally lighter than a cream. So I would always use this on finer hair. So like your 1s, 2s, maybe like a 3A. It's a spray. It doesn't tend to go, it promotes that it doesn't have crunch, but there definitely is more texture in this than, you know, their predecessor, the other one. So this is a leave-in treatment. This is going to promote humidity resistance and definition. Cream has a little bit more shine to it, which is quite nice. So this one is lovely. I really like Kevin Murphy. I think because it's mostly, so you can see that it's quite a lot thicker. It's really beautiful. Whereas the spray, I'm not going to spray that because it's actually just going to go everywhere, and you probably won't see it. So I would probably use this on finer hair. It's really good to get some root lift, and then you could even just like cocktail them together. Like there's no reason why you can't do that. So Kevin Murphy's cool. It's like sulfate free, paraben free, no nasties, but also Australian. And I think, yeah, I lived in Abu Dhabi for a short time, don't ask. And I used Kevin Murphy there, and I really enjoyed the products, and so I was quite delighted to come back here and play with them a little bit more. So that's your Kevin Murphy. They're my two picks. In terms of shampoo, conditioner for curly hair, that's a whole nother story, but there's so many different ranges from like fine to really coarse, really coloured hair. So I would be tempted to go more for the curl because I have a lot more hair, and I just think it's got a bit more punch with its conditioner or condition properties. Okay, so my next brand is Allbay. I think there's no surprises here because I absolutely love Allbay's styling products. But also this one in particular, this is Curl Jelly, and I'll show you what this looks like. I just think their packaging is like, Jesus Christ. Their packaging is just beautiful. It's like this gorgeous emerald green color. Green's my favorite color as well. So this is called Jelly, and as you can see, it's like a little jelly. This stuff is packed full of like hydration, so it's really good for you know, your 2s to 3s. I probably wouldn't put this on your 1s. Oh, actually, no, I would, just a little bit though. So even though it's translucent, it looks quite light, it's quite punchy. You could put it on a 4, but I would probably say that you would need some other stuff. So I actually watched a video on this lady who had, she had probably about a 4B, 4C type coils. And I watched her for about half an hour. And basically what she did was, like, starting from here, she would pull out each individual curl with like a gel product. It wasn't exactly this one. And she would basically hydrate each individual curl. It took forever. And I watched the whole thing. But I'm not going to waste this because I really like this product. The end result was incredible. So it's, yeah, as you can see, super lightweight. I'm just going to pop a little bit in now because I didn't want to waste the product. It's also UV protectant. I would probably use that. I would probably use it with like a curl enhancing, and I'm going to show you that one in a sec. But it gives you lots of shine, this one, because of the hydrating properties. So I love that. But yeah, green's my favorite color, and it's just so pretty. But I just love All Bay. It's just a little bit of a fancy, here we go, styling butter. So I use this one, even though, I don't know if you can see that, there's a few different green tubes, so you have to be really careful which one you're picking out. The styling butter actually is an enhancer, but they do suggest this for like 3s and 4s because it's really, really thick. I'm going to show you. You can see how long it takes to come out. Really thick, but I just use a little bit and I mix it in with the jelly. So I'm not using heaps, and I put this on damp hair as well because a little bit of the water in the like the hair will dilute it anyway. So not dripping wet but damp, and that's why my hair's up, because I'm trying to stop this aircon from drying me out. So curl enhancing butter, so it really is what it is. Like, it basically helps enhance the curls. This stuff gives me like really defined coils, and that's what I love about it. But the mix them together and they give me lots of hydration, but also it's the longevity, so I can wake up the next day and I'm still intact, and it lasts for about 2-3 days. The only thing is, obviously, I am it's like the heavier product, so I generally have to do like a balancing shampoo before I do my double shampoo. So I try and reset like the pH in my scalp, because there's like quite a bit of product, and I'll probably have to shampoo it sooner than I normally would, which is like once a week, because I'm just so fucking lazy. But also, like, who has time for that? Curl Control Silkening Cream. This is a way lighter version of that. These are all sitting in the like 68, 64, 63-ish mark. You can get these from like Edwards & Co. stock them, but Adore Beauty have now started stocking them as well. So this one's a lot more lighter, as you can see. Still a cream, still quite a thick cream, but it's just a lot lighter for your 2s, maybe your like low 3s, and definitely your 1s. It's not going to encourage a curl. If there's no curl there, you're not getting a curl. So you're probably best to like scrunch it with a mousse or scrunch it with a sea salt or something like that if you only have a 1 type texture. So that one's really nice. And then they've also got the Curl Gloss. I have used this one. This one does go a little bit crunchy, still very hydrating, but you can see it's like, oh, no, you can't. Just trust me. So this one's, it says hydration and hold. Yes, it gives you hold, but that does give you that little bit of a crunch factor. You can just kind of scrunch it out. So, which is fun. So that's the All Bay that I love. And as my finishing, if my hair's really soft, I'll do the Matte Waves, which is a texture lotion. I've spoken about this one before. I friggin' love it. So this is like, comes out quite a small amount. I generally use 2 pumps. If you use too much, it'll, because I'm fine textured, it will go really crispy because it's a texture lotion. So it's like a sea salt lotion, I suppose. So don't use too much and just start small. Yeah, little pea size, but the pumps come out quite small, so that's good. This one I love to use. This is called Air Styler. It's just like it's like a mousse, I suppose. Really, really soft and hydrating. I will put this in if my hair's gone, or if I've not used enough product, or if it's gone a bit too Paddle Pop Lion, not Lioness, then this is my gal. I will pop that through, and basically what I do is I'll like split my hair in 2 and just like run it over or scrunch it in so I'm not like ruining the curl or distressing the curl. And what that does is it just sort of coats the outside. It just sort of takes down some of that like fluff that's been created from, you know, could be humidity. I could have stood too close to the kettle when it boiled. Mercury could be in retrograde, who freaking knows, but sometimes it just goes a bit fluffy and doesn't work. So those are my All Bay picks. I'm going to move on to Evo. So I love Evo. So Evo liquid rollers, this stuff is pretty bang on in terms of affordability, no nasties in the product. So Evo is Adelaide born. So another Aussie brand. It is their only current curl product, but there's more coming. Top secret, but there's some really cool stuff coming with Evo, so I love that. But this stuff is pretty, this is one of their hero products in my opinion. So we used to have a client that come in and would buy 10 at a time. She would go through 1 a week. So she had, I would probably say 3C. So it wasn't like Afro sponge, it was like super, super tight coils. So I'm going to show you this guy. So this guy is kind of like the Silken, maybe in between the Silken and the butter. So I really love this stuff. I'm going to show you that. It's super moisturizing. It has like minimal hold though, so it's not, if you're looking for something that's going to actually hold your yeah, I don't know about that actually, because if you've got curly hair, curls are there, they're gonna stay. So, but I think it's more like the crunch factor. When people think hold, they think she's holding. But this stuff is minimal hold, but it gives you lots and lots of shine, super moisturizing. Price point is around $34. I did write this down, 34 bucks. It's pretty good. And you can get Evo almost everywhere. You can buy them directly from their website, but Adore Beauty have this as well. God, what else do they have? They pretty much stock everything that I ever want. So liquid rollers is definitely a winner. You could use this, I don't see a point with ones because there's not really a curl in there. I would stick to like a spray or a foam or something super lightweight, or even the texture lotion. I reckon that would be really good because it's going to actually give you a bit more grit and hold. So then we've got Salty Dog. I think this is probably more for like your 1s and 2s. I wouldn't be putting this anywhere near a 3 or a 4. 3 or 4, the more tighter your curl or coil is getting, the drier naturally you're going to be, because you've got this corners on your hair cuticle, right? So it's always going to feel naturally more rougher. That's why a lot of like African women or women with actual Afro hair use like thick butters, thick gels, like really heavy products. So I just laugh when people are like, yeah, my hair's like an Afro. I'm like, no, it's not. We just don't get a lot of Afro hair here in Sydney, and when we do, I think as a hairdresser, it's not my place to tell them. They've lived with their hair. So yeah, I don't know, that's just how I am. But I like to learn from them because they probably have a lot more to teach than I do them in terms of that sort of afro hair. So sea salt, yeah. So if you've only got a little bit of a wave, the Salty Dog is amazing because it's not severely salty. So in terms of like sea salts, you obviously get some that are really gritty, like fucking concrete, and some that are like a little bit more gentle. This probably sits somewhere in the middle. So also Eva have these hilarious like little captions on their things. So I'll read you the Salty Dog. Give your hair that fresh from the beach malleability, that's me today, with a look of natural creation. Be windblown, be interesting, be the urban fisherman, you Salty Dog you. So they're fun. They definitely market to the younger crowd. Good price point. Again, no nasties, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I would recommend for the Evo range. Salty Dog, I would say it probably is about $36, $38, something like that. Again, you can buy it directly from Adore Beauty, directly from Evo, but so many salons stock Evo. So just lastly, I'm going to throw this one in. I have not used this, so preface by saying that, but it is a cheaper price point. So I thought I would have, you know, your more expensive All Bay products all the way down to like your probably Kevin Murphy Evo. This is 11. 11 is definitely more of a commercial brand. You probably wouldn't find 11 in, you know, an editorial stylist kit unless there is like a particular product. Now, I do use their Miracle Cream. I think it's really nice because it's got UVA, UVB filters in there. It's going to help stop color fading. So I used that today at the beach because I had my color done yesterday. I didn't want to not swim today, so I whacked a ton of that in there. Excuse me, I just have like a ton of almonds. So this is Keep My Curl Defining Cream. I did put it on my hand before. It's thick like the Evo one. Actually, it's almost like an identical consistency. Generally, yeah, look, it's just there for defining curls. It's going to help with moisture because it's not sticky. There's no hold factor to it. Yeah, it's just, I just threw it in there because it's a good price point. It's $23.95. So again, all Edwards & Co stocks these. A lot of small boutique salons have them. I'm pretty sure Adore Beauty has this as well. And they give you Tim Tams. Anyway, so yeah, I just threw that one in. Sometimes I also use an oil in my hair, but I'm going to talk through that now. So my hair's probably dried out a little bit, but I'm just going to take this out. So generally, I shampoo and condition. When I condition, I will scrunch it in. I scrunch my conditioner in, and then generally my parting falls pretty chill. If it doesn't, it'll find its way there, right? So this is, it's a bit drier than what I would usually start with, but I'm going to go in with the jelly, even though there's a little bit in there already, don't forget. So I'll just start with, let's just go a bit more. Probably about that much. I just love this product because there's nothing else that I've played with like this. I know that in African American or African hair stores, they have gels a lot because they're super high in moisture. That noise. Oh. So I just find it's a bit of a novelty for me, but I also just really love All Bay. So I'm going to start through the bottom, and I'm just going to, everything's going up. When I'm drying my hair as well, when I get out, when I will flip over and I dry the moisture with a scrunching upward motion. I am not, like, you don't want to be doing this to your ends because you're just going to pull out the curl. My curl, because I am a 2C, and sometimes under here you'll see when I post a picture, once it's dry it gets a lot curlier underneath, but my curls are really easily messed up. So like if I comb this now, I pretty much will just go straight. So yeah, so you just want to scrunch that through all the way underneath. The thing is I don't actually curl, I don't comb my hair, so it can get a bit matted underneath when I sleep. I've been meaning to invest in a silk pillow slip. So again, Edwards & Co have them. but you can get them straight from their website. They are a bit pricey, but a lot of my clients have bought them elsewhere, and then they've noticed that we've had them and they're like, oh, I love them. Like, I wake up in the morning because I sleep on linen because she's a fancy girl. And I wake up and I'm like, wow, Mufasa, chill. So it gets a bit rough. So I'm going to use the curl enhancing butter because I love it. Oh, do I want to? No, I'm not. I'm going to use the liquid rollers today. So I've got an Orbe product in there already. I'm going to use the liquid rollers. So about, I would say, a 10-cent piece size. If you had super thick hair, I would suggest halving it, flip it up, and then do the underneath, then do the top. But my hair is not that. I mean, I've got a bit, but you know, I can easily just hold it up, scrunch it in. If your curl, say, is inconsistent, so see this front part? They're not long enough. This is what happens when my hair is not long enough. So I've been growing them out. So you can just, and this is what that lady does with her hair. She does this, but in these tiny little coils. But she like pulls hers out and it goes straight back, whereas mine's just like, no. Anyway, so I want to encourage a bit of curl in there, so I'm just going to twist that, and there's all this product on my palms, right? So you're just going to whack that in. Anyway, so for the rest, I just literally go through and scrunch, and then that has kind of spread through, or my hair's really soaked that up quite quickly, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. I put a little at my root only because I know that my hair can handle it. If you're in the ones early or yeah, like twos, early twos, that doesn't make sense. 2As, like finer hair. If you've got finer hair, don't do it. Yeah, so basically this would be me. And then I would maybe, like if I'm doing this for work, this is quick by the way, this is like lazy Laura, 4 to 5 days a week. And then if I can somehow talk someone into blow drying my hair, then I'll have blow dried hair. But, you know, and it's also a healthier way. And this is why I think I get so many clients who have this beautiful texture and they're like, oh, I hate it. And I'm like, but it would be so, like you want your hair to grow, you've got blonde hair. It's so much healthier because you're just basically like punching your hair with moisture and not putting any heat on it. Actually, speaking of heat, I'm going to talk about that. And you're just letting it air dry. And then, so basically tomorrow, if I wake up and it's like, maybe I've had a bit of a rough sleep, bit thrashy, I will wake up and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's all flat here, or it's really whatever. I will just wet it down and not like saturate it. I will just get like a water spray, or sometimes if I can't even find that because I've just got crap everywhere, I will just like wet my hair, scrunch it until it's suitably wet or damp, and basically as soon as water hits your hair it breaks down the hydrogen bond, so it's going to reform. So that's why we wash hair before we blow dry, because then we can like remold it. So that's why you would wet your hair. If you're like trying to blow dry your fringe, you mess it up and it just is getting worse and worse, just stop, take a breath, wet it down and start again, because you're going to break those bonds and then reform them. So there's a little chemistry lesson. That's about as much as I get. So anyway, if you have fine hair, you want more volume in your hair, you can do a few different things. You can take these like top ones and kind of spin them around your finger, and I'm not going all the way to the end, so I'll leave some of that out. That doesn't really need it. So you can just do 1, 2, slip your finger out and put a little bobby in there, and you can do that all through this top section, which sometimes I do because I don't get curl. So going back, the way your curl is defined is by how it grows out of your scalp, and also the shape it makes as it's growing down, right? So you will see when I post a photo later, and I've posted a lot of my natural hair, but it's quite straight at the roots. That's not because I've pulled it back. That's just how my hair is. It grows out very straight, and then as I get length, I get these like beautiful bends through there. So if I wanted to encourage more volume and more curl, I would use this, which is this is a blow dryer, but This is a YS Park diffuser. You can see the little tag here. Pretty much every hairdresser has one of these. This is the small one. I think it's about 50 bucks. Basically, it is attached like that. It's almost like a sock. So you basically take your nozzle off as well, because when you don't, this is what happens. And I did not do that. Someone borrowed that. I would not be that careless. So it pops on the front, then it goes over the back, and then you've got these little tightening guys. So then you basically, I didn't plug it in, but basically that is your diffuser. The good thing about this, instead of using those big bulky plastic ones, is that like if you're traveling, that's like how big it gets, those tiny, and you can just write your name on it, because these are hot property, man, they will take you. But you basically just diffuse your hair, lift it up, get the air right under there. What this will do is it actually diffuses the airflow, so it's not going to blast your curl out, but it's going to still dry it, and it just adds all this beautiful volume. But also, if I was like 2 minutes from work, I can't go like this. I don't like wet hair for work. It's not professional. I will just quickly 5-minute diffuse, and it just looks a little bit more neater. Now, there is a bigger one as well, but also the Dyson hair dryers. They're very gentle. I don't have one. I'm a bit of a skeptic. I would probably use one. Yeah, I would. They've got the professional one now, which I think is really good. However, I am skeptical how it compares to like a Parlux, which is like a in salon. Everyone's used Parlux before. They've just can do big bouncy blow dryers, no problem. I just fear that the Dyson can't keep up with that. However, the Dyson has these magnetic attachments, and the diffuser on that is really, really good. So, and you can literally just like place your hair. It's almost like about that big. Place your hair in there, literally hold it up like that. You can flip over and diffuse. Yeah, you can do that. So yeah, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to post a photo or a video of what it looks like on dry hair. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments, and I will endeavour to get back to you. However, I am going to put up the curly measuring system on my website, plus products in there that I think would suit best, and then I'll probably pop a little link there as well for where you can get them. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope this has been informative. There's just, every time I look down at my notes, I'm just like, there's so much more I could say, but I'm going to type it all up. Yeah, it's been fun. Love curly hair. Try and just play with it. Do it on a weekend. If you can't wear it for work, I totally understand, but just give it a go on holidays or on the weekends, and yeah, it's cool because it's unique. It's unique to you. No two people will have the same curls. So yeah, cool. Shoot me a message or leave me a comment. Thanks so much for watching.